Yo, what is up, people? How you guys doing? It's been a beautiful weekend. It's been nice, hot weekend over here in Toronto. Hopefully it's been a good weather for you too. Mic check, mic check. Hopefully mic is working and no audio problems. I did have some audio problems over the weekend when I was gaming, so hopefully no audio problems for the stream. Let me know if there's any audio problems, please, so I can fix it right off the bat. I should have probably tested it on the stream, but then didn't. That's my fault. But hey, we're back. How's everyone doing? Beautiful Monday to start off. The QQQs had a great day. The tech basket has been so strong. The SPY sadly didn't really do too much, and I think ended red as far as I remember. I traded a couple of the tech stocks, Tesla, Apple. I even traded Rivian, and I trade CCL. CCL ended up being my best stock on the day today. Tesla being my worst stock on the day today. But the Tesla should have technically been my best stock, and I'll tell you why it was the worst stock on the day today. At the end of the day, we were completely flat, so we get to talk about, or we get to live to fight another day and come back tomorrow. Today was pretty tough, I'll say, man. It wasn't the easiest of days. A lot of stocks that were down, at least Tesla, which was down, moved up, and Rivian kind of teetered around a little bit. So we'll talk about all of my trades. We'll talk about all the stocks that kind of moved around today. Where can we find the levels tomorrow? Get our charts prepared for tomorrow. Get our charts prepared for tomorrow, and you kind of get to see how a prop trader sets up his charts, and maybe you get some ideas off it. Maybe you start putting up your charts like that too, and find some areas to trade off of. So we'll be looking for some levels, some anchored VWAP points, and some possible key zones for us to make that good pesos, baby, and maybe eventually become Bezos. That's a little rap rhyme I just made. We got Dan Duval's in the chat. Why are you saying adult content, Dan Duval? The thumbnail adult content, or is YouTube telling you to asking you for your age verification because it's saying that the stream is adult content? Is that what's happening? Dieter's in here. TH saying, is that Heath Ledger or Jared Leto? Come on, dude. You even gotta ask that question. Come on, TH. You know who it is. The legendary Heath Ledger, obviously. It's gotta be Heath. He's the only one that goes, why so serious? Right? So, I was gonna say, why so bearish? But I don't know if anyone would have got that joke. So, I just stuck with why so serious. Because it's the classic Joker saying, the why so serious, when he sticks that blade in whose mouth does he stick it in? Rose? Rachel. He sticks it in Rachel's mouth and he asks her, why so serious? And what a legendary movie, legendary series. Shout out to Heath Ledger. Shout out to your boy Christian Bale and the legendary Christopher Nolan. All right, ladies and gentlemen, enough movies. Let's get back to the main part, or the main reason why some of you are tuning in over here. It's not for my pretty face, I know that, but it's for some of these awesome levels that maybe we can find on the market. So let's start off with my trades on the day. Here we go. CCL. So CCL day 2 earnings play. Let's quickly go to, what the hell is this? Not that. Let's go to here. Let's go here. Let's close that. You don't need to see my code. I'm hiding my code from you. I'm joking. There's nothing really there to hide. But let's go to CCL. And CCL earnings play day 2. We have our blue anchored VWAP, which is the point where the earnings was basically announced on this position. And then we moved our 2-day rolling VWAP from Thursday 28th to the forward. So based on those two anchored VWAPs, even based on how the stock played out on this day itself, we were pretty much looking for the shorts on this day too, on the Friday. And if you look at the daily level over here on CCL, Carnival Cruise Line, you see this a bottom that it's been basically holding up for a couple of days now, for a couple of days in a row. So possibly looking for that break of that bottom, and the earnings, they didn't really break it. I thought maybe today we would get that extension to the downside. Didn't really see that extension to the downside all the way to that level, but it gave us some good shorts to play off of. So sadly, I first get into some monkey trades. I have a very small size short over here, and then I have another order over here with a tight stop above 14.10, 14.11 for a possible, catching the short. Maybe I catch the top for that insane short throughout the day to the south side. Sadly, that trade ends up being bad, and I'm realizing what I'm doing is, I'm not on the right side of the V. It's something that I'm trying to be more and more these days. I'm looking for those reasons for to be in a trade, and just because these 2 points are on the chart at that line doesn't mean anything. I need to let the stock trade. I need to see where the buyers are, where the sellers are, and then have a reason to make a trade out of it. So obviously, once I realized I'm being stupid, I dumped my position. I let it trade around these price points a little bit, and that's when I realized, hey, now we are actually seeing a little bit of a pressure coming in right around this 2-day anchored VWAP, rolling 2-day anchored VWAP. So right as I see that rejection coming in, and the stock's not able to really trade too much above 14.10, 14.06 area, I start throwing out some orders to get short. I'm adding all the way down towards this area, but I waited for this area to first break. So once that area breaks, I'm adding a little bit more. I'm adding a little bit more around here, and then on the way down, I start taking profits. Later on in the day, this ad over here was a little bit of a tilt ad. I knew I should have just waited for the higher end of these ranges to add, but this was a little bit of a tilt ad because I was losing on Tesla, and I was like, you know what? CCL is going to be my best trade of the day. The stock is just going to plummet for the rest of the day, and then I'm going to absolutely slay this short. So I'm gonna add over here as it breaks this lower day range, kind of, but that's not even the lower day. That was the lower day over there. So a little bit of a tilt ad over here, but I know that now that after I add this, my average is basically where VWAP is 1380, and if I go back to my chart over here, right around 1380 is where the earnings day VWAP is too. So I'm ready to take more size, leaning off that 1380 to 1390 area, basically $14, and I'm able to hold this trade a little bit against me. Never really comes to my stops, never really have to stop out on this position, and they're able to scalp some wins all the way to the downside over there on CCL. So one of my best trades today. Could have obviously traded it way better. No reason to have that tilt ad over there. If the stock was actually, going all the way to the downside and taking out those supports that we have already mapped out. We've already looked out for these supports on the stock. So if we really wanted to add, we could have just let the stock pushed all the way down there, take some more profits on the way down, and then actually added once it breaks this area and really shows us this it's resisting this area and starts trading under it. That's when we could have possibly added big for that bigger move to the downside on the stock, for maybe that 200-day moving average coming in, or maybe even all the way back over here. Currently 200-day moving average right around 12.50, which is about $1 per share. So that would have been a banger day for me if it did end up playing out that way. But day 2 earnings, yeah, we're under our earnings VWAP, yeah, we're under the 2-day rolling VWAP, but at the same time, that level is still showing you a lot of buying pressure coming in. We did end up getting a nice little win on it. So we might have to kind of flip our idea now. Now we might have to just kind of see if this level could give us some possible longs on it on day 3 on CCL. So we'll be talking about that later on in the day once we get to that point. Okay, so CCL, first trade on the day. Second trade on the day, Apple. These are all in chronological order based on winners to losers. So I had 4 trades on the day, 2 winners, 2 losers, absolute flat on the day. What are those noises I'm hearing? I'm hearing weird noises. Okay, so second trade on the day, positive on this stock over here. Start off with a nice little short. I kind of have a level mapped out on Apple near this 173.50. So if you pull back on the daily chart, you see how this 173.50 area has been support for quite a bit around September, the start of September all the way till the end of September. For a whole month, we hold off in this range for Apple. So the real recent support slash resistance could possibly show up around this area. So looking for that trade. I let the stock trade around a little bit. Apple's ridiculously strong on the day. The QQQs are also strong on the day. The tech baskets are ripping to the north side. I'm saying, hey, I'll be very patient. I'll be very patient. Once I see the stocks kind of, really showing me lower lows and lower highs, that's when I will start offering into the trade. So that's what I do. Lower lows, lower highs. I think this is the right trade. If the market really pulls off, Apple could really sell off for the rest of the day, go right back to 170. So thinking about that, I'm short. I add with that stop near high day, I get stopped out, whatever, I'm done with that trade. But now I'm seeing the market really get above 360 for QQQs. And was it 360? Let me just go make sure. Yeah, 360 on the QQQs and really push up and stay above it. So if that's happening, and I'm also watching Apple not really push below 173.50 at this point. So I'm ready to punch that 173.50, getting ready to even add more around these ranges over here. So as you can see, I actually have some orders thrown out there to add more if the stock does pull back to the downside. So I get in, add, take some profits, take some outs. I have some orders laid out just in case the stock does come down and it comes flushing big time to the downside along with the market. I get a little scared over here. So I think, hey, if it does re-enter this range, that could be, negating the whole thesis. But I kind of slap myself in the face. I say, hey, Prad, the stop is here. This is where your stop is. If the stock is actually trading under today's VWAP and holding under it, that's your exit, man, and Apple will give you tons of chances to exit. So I wait. It gives me a chance to take some profits out. Gives me a chance to add right back in the lower end of these ranges. Gives me a chance to take more profits, get back in and take more profits. Eventually, I figure, hey, I think Apple might break this area. I should probably just stop looking for the longs on it or the shorts on it. I'll just move on because, the market was kind of just trading sideways. So I move on from it, give up on the idea. Eventually, number 2 stock on the day positive. I think, flipping to the long was great because that first long made up for that loss on that short, and eventually we just get to keep padding our stats on Apple and help us on the day out. Shout out to Apple. Rivian. This one was a little bit of a battle mentally and also technically as a trade itself, honestly. Let me explain why. So first, I watched the stock go up all the way to the north side, taking out the anchored 2-day rolling VWAP, goes above it, and then, rejects around this 24.50 area, which is somewhere near this pre-market low ranges. So not pre-market low, as here, I'll pull up Rivian on this chart for us. So right around this area. Why did I even short that? I don't remember anymore. But I remember now. So right around, right after it pulls back from this and shows me a lower high, I start offering over here, but I don't get any shares because as soon as I throw an order out, we immediately drop down 20-30 cents and the stock is like really plummeting to the downside. And I think I missed the boat. So I say, hey, if it does pull back into these ranges again, I'll start throwing some orders out there. I'll start taking some fills. It does pull back, does move down. I wait a little bit. You see me being a lot patient than previously in my trade. So I wait a little bit. I get stopped out. I get back in, giving it the high. Eventually that doesn't trigger. I take some profits, and then here's where I start going real monkey. I start adding all crazily, thinking that, hey, this move to the north side is fugazi. Rivian's gonna plummet to the downside today, and really start trading emotion instead of technicals, right? So start doing stupid trades, miss out the backside over here. I really end up being the punch where I get stopped out is the high of the day. Like, sad, because we really missed out on the whole trade for the whole day, and we fought for this trade and eventually we lost. So yeah, that's a little bit of a fight stupid trading over here in the middle. We learned, we fought with fire, we got our hands burned. Hopefully we learn not to do that again. We punched the high. We should have been able to, think about maybe come back in somewhere around over here. Missed a nice little trade to the downside on Rivian. Overall, I guess the idea was right, just poor execution, poor trade on this one. Tesla, also very similar. In pre-market, it actually sold off quite a bit. Pre-market, Tesla sold off because of, I guess, poor deliveries or missing on delivery numbers, and they pushed down quite a bit off of that. I ignore the stock all damn day, And later on, for some reason, I figure, hey, I'm going to short this 250 area. If it shows me a lower high and lower low and a little bit of a, fight over this area. So this 251 area kind of shows me, a little bit of battle. We're not able to push above 251.50. So I start taking some fills, giving it that risk of that high. I get stopped out. I go, wow, watch it turn around right around this area. I know it will, so I don't want to miss it. So I get back in, give it a little bit too much risk. I get stopped out. I actually punch out over here. I say, wow, I'm giving it way too much risk. What the hell am I doing? So I just punch out. Later on, I see some fight happening over here. The stock breaks 254. So this risk that I'm getting, the risk to reward on this trade technically is very, very tight. I think it was 50 cents at best for a way bigger reward, right? So I'm getting in. Eventually I realize I'm trading it very emotionally. I said I would stay away from Tesla. I said I would not even touch this position today, especially after how it was holding above the 2-day rolling VWAP, that orange line on this chart over here, the rolling 2-day anchored VWAP. It starts holding above that at 10 o'clock, holds it above that after at, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 4 o'clock, so stays above it. Seeing that, see where my trades are. I mean, we are already above the 2-day rolling VWAP, and I'm still trying to short this position. It's already strong on the day. It turns from being negative to positive. So a little bit of stupid trading. Once I realize that, hey, I'm just trading emotionally over here, and if it does push up a little bit more, I'll be more upset of just not trading the stock on the day and moving away from it. So let me do the right thing over here, which is close my position. Don't care if I'm in the winner or not. Don't care if it's the right trade. Just close the position so I don't tilt more, move on from it, and I moved on, and that's when I went to Apple and started trading Apple in the range and started making some money and help me make some of that profits back on the day today. So shout out to Apple, shout out to CCL. Those 4 were the trades on the day today. Wow, that's pretty surprising, right? Very rare where you see me where I'm trading 4 stocks on the day and keeping it, tight, keeping it nice and hopefully small, right? Not keeping it like those 15 stocks, 100 million stocks that I trade on the day every single day. Let me just quickly open the Discord over here, see if I posted something that I need to post on Discord. I did not, so let me just do this. In the meantime, chat, let me know what you guys traded today, and if you guys have any specific stocks you guys want me to pull up, because I'm going to reload this page over here, the after hour scanners, reload this page, reload this page, reload this page, and we're gonna have to find some stocks to see how they moved around, find some trades for us to be involved in for tomorrow. So if you have any specific trades for us to be involved in, holla at your boy. Let's take a look at it. Let's draw some charts, draw some lines. We got Sky in here. Sky's asking for AMD, NIO, and Palantir. All right, no doubt about that. We do like those stocks. We do trade them anyways. So we will chart them out for you. Palantir, PLTR. Okay, let's start off over here with real quick as we make the list. Ignore DXC. That's just the stock that was getting added to an index today. NI is moving again, hey? This stock was moving recently too, so let's put it on the watch list over here because I don't want to miss that stock. Rivian, let's put that one on the watch list. Apple, obviously, without a doubt. Amazon, without a doubt. Nvidia. We're not going to care about Pfizer. Sorry, Momo. I love you, Momo. You know me. But we're not going to care about that. We're going to move to CCL. Ignore KSS because that was also being added or removed from the index today. So you can not really worry about it. I don't think there'll be a play on it tomorrow. Formula One stock moving around a little bit. I'm guessing that one has to do with something along merging the companies and Siri being merged into the company too and so on. So nice little pump over here to the north side. Would love to see what the news is on that one. Super Microcomputer up 5% on 3 million shares. Not really too much of a big boost on average. volume. I'm guessing maybe that was the earnings play, but hey, something happened over here. They popped up 5% with 3 million shares. Not bad overall, but not a stock that Zscaler. We did hear a lot about Zscaler today, so we'll put that one on the watch list for ourselves. Wayfair kind of moving around apparently to the upside. Now let's see for the downward movers, the downward doggers. Plug Power dropping 10%. There could be a possible SSR bounce on that maybe tomorrow. Maybe we can take a look at that. No other stocks that really stand out to me that I remember trading a lot, so we'll move on from that one. And last but not least, the after hour movers. So let's take a look at the after hour movers. I'm just gonna put a couple other big techs over here, Microsoft, Google, along with those ones just to be safe. After hour movers, we got a couple penny stocks. I'm gonna ignore those obviously. Move on. Femi, we can't ignore Femi, guys. Femi has been doing some crazy stuff. I told you guys about Femi, like the after hour day when the trade came out. When the trade came out with the FDA catalyst, we covered it for you guys. We said as long as the stock stays above $1, you're gonna have a banger trade out of this. The stock is now at, where did it close at today after hours? 380, but in intraday today ended up at like $4 something. Your risk was literally pennies, and your reward is 400 pennies. I mean, if anyone took that trade, come on. Shout out to me, right? I just want the credit for it. So I outlined that Femi trade for you guys from $1 to $4 within a couple days. So shout out to Femi over there. We gotta watch out for that one. Where's the volume, ladies and gentlemen? There's no volume to the upside at all. I mean, yeah, stocks did pop up. There's no volume on any of these stocks that popped up. And apparently not too many stocks really moved down. So we can ignore that one. Anything on the IPO calendar recently? Looks like October. Nothing really too hyped upcoming just yet. Oh, what is that? 17 million? Nah, that's nothing. 17 million is nothing. We also have a couple stocks that moved around today because they went public, or not public. They just are now open to host concerts. Spear, so we'll put on Spear. This actually comes from the, let me show you guys where that comes from. CNBC biggest movers. Yeah, look at that. Pretty much right there in their pictures, you guys can see the Spear thing. It's pretty cool, man. This building looks cool as shit, honestly. The technology is pretty cool too. Trying to see if any other cool stocks pop up. AMC for a Beyonce movie. Yeah, I'm not buying it. No other big positions to talk about for us. So I guess we have a pretty decent watch list right now. Trying to see if we're missing anything. Instacart fell pretty hard. So if there's a trade on that, we can take a look for that. Meta, how can I forget Meta? That's because I hate Meta. That's why I can forget Meta. Okay. Bang, bang. We can close all this. Earnings. We got MKC. We got TRIB. CALM. And NG. Honestly, there's nothing really happening on the earnings board for this week. Maybe Tilray will do something for us, as the weed sector has been a little hot recently for in the last few weeks or so. Constellation Brands coming in also, and Levi Strauss. So a little bit happening, not too much happening on the earnings board. So that's why I haven't really hit that one too hard for you guys recently. But with earnings sector coming back in, it's gonna get a little fun for us. So let's start off with AMD. These lines are annoying. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to nuke them. Yep, we're going to nuke them. Nuke these lines. And then we're going to first start off with looking at the rolling 2-day anchored VWAP. The rolling 2-day anchored VWAP for tomorrow on AMD will be off of this 930 area. That's the blue line that we want, or so the orange line we want. And the orange line, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We'd love to see that one. So let's see how the stock plays out tomorrow. Maybe even put a... Isn't it Alt-H? Oh, what the hell? Is it Alt-J? Aha, no. Thought it was Alt-G. How do you put a horizontal line? What's the shortcut for that? Alt-H. Yeah, I thought it was Alt-H. Ah, there you go. Okay. Let's make this orange. That way we know that line is right around there, 1320. Okay, perfect. And we have that one mapped out for tomorrow. As to levels on the stock, we do have a little bit of a trend line to the downside, don't we? It is bouncing off the 200. I believe that's a 200. Let me go check. Yes, there's a 200 period SMA on the daily chart. It is bouncing off the 200 period SMA, but it is rejecting off the 100 period EMA. I don't know what you're gonna do with that information, but you have that information out there right now. There is a little bit of a trend though, right? You see that trend that it is to the downside. We got lower lows and lower highs so far, and it doesn't look the prettiest at the moment. The market is helping it out. We did get back above 100. That double bottom looks a little interesting to me. That recent double bottom looks very interesting. That top over there and that bottom also. I mean, maybe there's a level something around this 103. So we already have a line there. So I'm not even gonna worry too much about putting another line. There's maybe something over here. You see that? You see that top right there? So I'm interested in that one. But this very choppy action, honestly, in these ranges doesn't really excite me too much on trying to look for a level within this area. But I guess I have these three levels. I got this one area around 109. I got one around 103.50, and one right around, what is this area? Right around 99.50, right around 100. And then you can also look for this bottom. Look how we beautifully held this low. Let me just plop that one right around there. Maybe we can put it right there. Around 95.50 or so, how we held that bottom. So these are the four kind of areas I'm looking for. But most importantly, how the stock trades around today's VWAP, the 2-day rolling VWAP. And it's the days or yesterday, which would be today's VWAP, the today, which would be tomorrow's VWAP, and the 2-day rolling VWAP, which would be today, Friday, and tomorrow. All 3 days. That was very confusing for me to even say. Jesus Christ. Big Tech had all the strength, watching to see if it continues. Probably just trade QQQ. Yeah, I mean, QQQ was pretty damn strong. Las Vegas, baby. Yes, sir. Las Vegas. Hi, Prad, tuning in. How you doing today? Doing good, Stone. How you doing, my friend? Short meta. Do it, Prad. I mean, I would love to. I just don't trade meta, dude. I just don't trade meta. I don't care for meta too much. If there's a trade there, I'll trade it, but I just don't care for Zuckerberg, nor do I care for Facebook. Anything, Instagram, anything Zuckerberg can eat my asshole for all I care. Hold on, let me see where this line is currently. I just want to look for that price, but I'm just being too stingy at this point. Okay, yesterday's VWAP, which should be today's VWAP. Let's put in that line and put that one in red. That's right around that price. So this day's VWAP and this day's or the 2-day VWAP right around these areas at the moment. Let's see what happens between these prices. We'll probably see the stock trade between these two prices in pre-market, and then based on where the market goes, it'll probably break out to the upside or the downside based off of these areas. I'm pretty interested in to see how we trade within these two boxes on AMD. Where is my next watch list? Oh, it's right here. NIO, we already have a couple lines mapped out. I don't think I want to nuke my lines on NIO. I'm pretty interested in seeing how the stock trades within these ranges already. But I do have to move the 2-day rolling VWAP over now. So that bad boy needs to go over to here. Is that 9:30 on Thursday, Friday? Wait, what? Wait, I didn't move it over today, that's why. So I need to put it to Friday, and then it covers Friday, today, and I'll be ready for tomorrow. So here's the VWAP. This one will be in orange. Here's that VWAP. This one will be in red. Okay. And right now we are rejecting today's VWAP, obviously, in the after hours. The 2-day rolling VWAP is a little bit higher than where the stock is trading at already. We have seen the stock show the rejection at $9 before. It's got a lot of weakness on it, based on, I think they were talking about, they did do positive delivery catalyst today, I think. Was it positive or negative? I can't remember anymore. But the way the stock traded, I guess negative, right? But recently the stock has had a lot of negative news, and then I think they were also doing a share offering, if I remember correctly. I might be just misquoting completely at the moment, but I do remember they had a lot of negative catalysts on NIO recently, pushing it right back to the downside. So anywhere popping into these higher end of these ranges, the $9, $8.90 where the 2-day rolling VWAP is, or even yesterday's VWAP, which would be today's VWAP, will be right around $8.92. So $8.92 today's VWAP, tomorrow will be yesterday's VWAP. We'll see how the stock trades around these couple levels that we have. Looks like it's got a nice little resistance to the upside at the moment, and the negative catalyst isn't really helping out. Let's see if its counterparts, XPEV, how did they do? XPEV pretty much lost on the day. Li Auto lost on the day, and I do know that all the EV sector cars were announcing delivery numbers. So I want to see how these sectors or these cars delivered. There we go. Rose 1% with the record. So they actually beat. I guess Tesla kind of screwed them over then, huh? Rose over with 1% in pre-market trading after the company set a new monthly record on 36,000 cars delivered in September. Xpeng 1% after announcing deliveries jumped by 12% month over month, 81% year over year, 15,310 units in September. Nice. So they actually did good. But I guess the weakness that Tesla had completely kind of screwed over the sector over a bit, and then Tesla was actually ended up positive on the day, so that's pretty crazy. This is me checking the FXI, which is the large cap Chinese ETF that we have on the American market, FXI, for those of you interested, and to see maybe if the large cap Chinese stocks kind of brought the stocks down, maybe. But no, I mean, I guess because they are down on the day. But yeah, XPEV and Li Auto, both of them, which did announce good numbers, overall did end red, I guess, sadly. So there you go. That's the sector news for you over there for the Chinese EV at the moment. Let's stay in the EV sector and go to Rivian, because I found something absolutely hilarious come out today from a CNBS. Wait, was it not CNBS? Or did I read this? Did I read this on... Maybe I read this on Trader TV watch list. Let me see. Let me go see if I did. I did. Okay, let me open this email. Open it in browser. That way I don't dox my email to you guys. Okay, bang. So this one... Wait. I didn't read it on the Trader TV watch list either. Where the hell did I read this today then? I've had to have read this off the CNBS watch list then. Yo, that's crazy. Where the fudge did I read that? Okay, anyways, I'll just tell you guys what I read. That Rivian is getting upgraded, and it is posed to be the next BYD of EV. For those of you who don't know, BYD is basically one of the biggest EV stocks out there in China. They make more cars than any other EV company, I believe, at least from what I've been told from my conversations back in the day with Sharif. The Toronto TTC, which is the Toronto Transit Committee, TTC, they actually have a couple buses, electric buses from BYD. So BYD, a big company over there, and they're saying Rivian is supposed to be the next BYD, which absolutely killed me reading that. And I was like, shut up. Let's see more cars of Rivian out in the public streets first, and then we can talk about them competing with BYD and so on. But overall, man, yeah, today you saw me trade Rivian. Was a little upsetting with the way I traded it today. I should have just waited for the backside. Maybe tomorrow we learn from our mistakes, and eventually we'll learn from our mistakes and get ready to smack this trade. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Now that is an absolute beautiful level. The 2-day rolling VWAP and yesterday's VWAP both indicate that the best average price for the stock right now is $24 and 6 cents slash 4 cents. That is beautiful to see. When that happens, now we got an absolute level to watch out on the stock. So right around $24. If for any chance we push up to 24 tomorrow and we actually start to hold 24 and trade above 24, there's a crazy long for us, risking off the lows right here. 50-cent risk for a possible swing trade, north side big trade. That's not financial advice, right? But for a day trade, if for any chance we punch above 24 tomorrow, I'm looking for that long. I think Rivian has had recently a lot of good catalysts behind it. I'm not buying it. You guys know that. But it has had a lot of recent good catalysts. And look at that. That 24 area also showing the nice little rejections around these areas. Nice little support over here. Rejections over here. So a possible great trade coming in for us off of mathematical equations that calculate how much volume weighted, how much volume has been traded in the average price and time range for yesterday and today. So that's indicating that the average price for yesterday and today should be around $24, and the VWAP for today is also saying the same damn thing. So looks like we got an insane level over here to watch out for. We actually got a lot of bounces off of that level today if you're looking at it. So we'll be looking out for Rivian. I'm gonna put down that price point right here, keeping an eye out for that level 100%. And obviously that level to the upside, when Rivian does manage to punch higher and higher, we got more levels to watch out for. If tomorrow ends up being a green day on the stock market, I think Rivian will be one of the stocks that we have to look out for. The next one over here is Palantir. Palantir did get up to 16 recently, but then what happened? I guess I kind of didn't really look at the stock since it got above 16. Oh, we actually got almost to 17. 17 has been that crazy level that I've been waiting for quite a bit now. So I guess that's what I get for not being too attentive on the stock recently. So let's put the anchored VWAP down for Friday, 9:30 a.m. and that's basically showing us that there is some sort of best average price for the last 2 days around 16.20, and we got today's VWAP, which is around this price right there. And now I'm interested to see if for any reason we do pop into these prices. If I see rejection, we're already seeing a lot of rejection off of these anchored VWAPs right now. So it looks like there's some selling happening, some active selling. There is no real buying happening at the moment on Palantir ever since we did get back over 16 and 17. So if we do punch over to 16.20, do punch over to $16, there's possible short attempts over here on Palantir for myself. So I'm just gonna put in look at chart. Okay, NEE, or is it NEE? There you go, NEE. This one has been a little bit crazy recently. If I remember, it went like absolute downside. Yeah, look at that. Bang, 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 just absolutely dropping to the downside. So if we are able to zoom out on this stock and let's delete that. That'll just make my life easier. And just plop it over here for today, or sorry, for tomorrow. Bang. That's off of Friday. Yeah, that's off of Friday. That's showing you our anchored VWAP for the 2 days. And now I really want the anchored VWAP from when the stock started going really crazy to the downside. So is that possible? Hey, how many days ago was that? That's not even that long ago, dude. What the hell? This was on 26th of September. 26th of September. And this one, we want it to be a little bit of a different color than the orange one. So we'll put it in our earnings anchor VWAP type of level. So ever since that drop started happening on this stock, that one's a little bit higher. Okay. So whoever is in control of this stock from dropping all the way from there, their average price kind of should be around over here to here. And whoever's been shorting this stock from this day to this day, their average price is right now around over here. So for any chance that the stock does pop to this price or this price, there's some easy shorts to look out for around these areas right now on NEE. Besides that, if we're talking about technicals, I mean, the stock is just straight to the downside, new 52-week low. I don't want to say new all-time low without confirming. Yeah, good job not saying new all-time low, because you would have looked like an idiot. But yeah, new 52-week low coming in back to back days. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row we've found a new low on this position. So I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know if it's going to bounce from here or not bounce from here. Our job is to manage risk. If there's any trades to catch on longs off of that $50 area, there's a possible trade over there. And if there's any shorts to catch if the stock does pop up to this 53.50 or this 57 area, there's some possible shorts to catch off of those moves over here on NEE. Okay. Apple. Why does the back of my head hurt? Got killed 10 points down last week. NEE. Yeah, that whatever is going on with that stock is clearly not good news. Only since you love Marky so much. Yeah. F1 race will be Las Vegas soon. That is right. November F1 Vegas. Why so many moving averages? That's just the moving average ribbon. So when I'm on the 1 minute, I mean, you see that there's dotted, doesn't really matter too much. They don't bog my charts down, and the ribbon is just the 20, the 50, the 100, and the 200, and then I have the EMAs. So simple moving averages, because there's actual math behind it. There are programs that trade off of these numbers. There's algos that trade off of these equations. So it's always a good idea to have them, but purely for you to trade just because, hey, there's a line on my moving average that says we're at 173.12. So just because it goes to 173.12, I'm gonna short it. Then you absolutely get rinsed off of that, right? There's different ways of how algos work. There's some program buying based on time, like buy X amount of shares on a time-based system or price-based system or VWAP-based system. Every time the stock goes to VWAP, buy this much. Every time it goes to a certain price, sell this much. So it's always good to have the major ones, the main ones, such as the 50, the 100, the 200. And for day traders, you can even go as low as the 9 and the 20, or some people like to get fancy and use some different timelines. It's all up to whatever you want, right? And as long as you're not solely using them to make a trade off of, they're good. You got to use them to kind of see what else is happening. For example, let's go to JBL. That recent day where JBL has been on a monster trend, and it still is. Look at this damn stock. Jesus Christ. So let's go to this one over here. Let's go to this one. What moving average even is that? Oops. Hey man, which one is that? That's the lightest one. Okay, I'll just have to click over here. The lightest one's got to be the 9. Yeah. So look how the stock basically held the 9 moving average all the way from the open. All all the way till the close, basically, and the continuous buying, and that could be someone sitting there punching their key every time it does that. But hedge funds and program buying, when companies do program buying, they're just running it off a computer. They probably sell it off to a market maker, and the market maker job is to get an average price of VWAP. Maybe this market maker who was assigned to buy X amount of shares, his job was not to get average price VWAP. His job was just to accumulate all the shares he can and the X amount of shares he can, and for the amount of size that they needed, it was probably just time based. For every minute, buy X amount of shares. Just run up the tape all the way to the north side and keep everyone guessing what the hell's going on this position. So things like that, always good to keep an eye out for. But then when you pull up those moving averages on stuff like Apple, Google, you kind of see stuff all over the place and no real sense to make out of it. But there's sense to make out of it eventually at the end of the day when you're watching the stock kind of move around. Like, hey, is it rejecting the 9-day average? Is it rejecting the 20-day average? Are we holding the 20-day average? Are we seeing some sort of action happening around these prices instead of just having like a deer in the headlights type of situation where you actually have no clue what the hell is going on in the market? Hopefully that made sense. Okay, shop looks good here. We can take a look at that. It's a holiday in China, Hong Kong, and South Korea yesterday, so their markets were closed. They are opening now for the first time this week, so futures are seeing some added volatility. CNBS, yes, CNBS. TGT and CART, Target and CART. We have CART on the board, so we'll maybe add just Target over here for you. TGT, you want Siri? Dude, don't trade Siri. Don't trade Siri. There's nothing to trade on Siri. YouTube performed in the sphere. Yeah, SPHE. Was it SPHE? I put SPHR. SPHE. Thank you. FWIW China market is closed through the 9th. Yes, people just mentioned that. Thank you. Got killed. And Duval. India had a holiday yesterday as well. Why do you guys know so much about like Indian markets? I mean, China markets make sense, but Indian markets? 3 hours until Indian market reopens. Are you trading the Indian markets, dude? Can you please chart Roblox? For sure we can. Okay, Roblox. Hong Kong market opens for the first time, and this is a robot. That's a robot, chat. M Stone's a bot. He's just a market alert bot. He alerts you what times markets opens and what time market closes. That's a market open close bot. We got him. We got him. Robot AI confirmed. We got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Okay, next one. Apple. We got to move this 2-day rolling VWAP over for ourselves. 2-day rolling VWAP moved over. And let's quickly throw some lines in for myself over here. I mean, do we really need a line? We already know this 173.50 area is a level, but it looks like the 2-day rolling VWAP is showing some level over here. So let's just throw one down to be safe. That one needs to be in blue or orange color. Sorry, did I say just blue? My brain's farting. And this one over here, need to go that to red. And that one needs to be at 23. Perfect. And now we can kind of zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out. We also do have some other anchored VWAPs from the 52-week high and so on that we could put down if we want to. So let's just do that. 52-week high over here. We want you in a way less thicker blue line. And that's the 52-week high at the moment. And that's showing you possible rejections coming in near 181.22 on the daily chart. But if you go into the, ooh, look at that. That lines up pretty strongly. The 52-week anchored VWAP lines up pretty strongly with this 175 area, which apparently is a line that we have too. So let's go see where this 175 line comes from. It's right this bottom. And pretty recent top too. So if for any reason this 175 area comes into contention, maybe we see 176, but it looks like we might see a little bit of a trouble in front of 175 according to the 52-week high anchored VWAP on the 1-minute chart. Not that it has any significance. I'm just throwing some numbers out there for me to keep an eye out for. The most important number for me, however, is going to be that 173.50 to 173 area. The way we fought for that 173 price today on Apple, look even basically pushed down to the rolling VWAP from Friday and today. So yesterday and today's VWAP kind of coming into play over here and showing you some buying happening in front of this 172.40. Did we actually drop there at one point today? Damn, I wasn't watching the market at that point. But yeah, it looks like nice little bounce action coming in. We fought for that 173 price all day today. Eventually we closed above 173 and 173.50. So I'm pretty interested to see how this area comes into play tomorrow, and that 175 level, maybe we get some longs or shorts off of that price point on AAPL. So let's see what happens on that one. AAMZN. No, that's not how it goes. AMZN. AAMZN. What's wrong with me? Amazon. First, move that one. Bang. And according to that, we got some levels to... Wait, that's not right. Yeah, that is right. According to that, we got... Let's actually do this one first because our line's already red. And that one needs to be one number down. And now we got to go here, put that one down over here. Bang, skeet, scoot, skeet. And that one needs to go 2 numbers down. Perfect. Okay, we got some anchored VWAPs over here from the longer time frame. So let's go see where these bad boys come from. We got one from this gap up, and we got one from this 52-week high. So the gap up is the earnings VWAP, the recent earnings VWAP, and the 52-week high anchors VWAP are both coming in our charts over here on the 1-minute charts to show possible rejections coming in the near future on Amazon if we do pop into these levels over here. But right now, the stock obviously had very strong strength today, pushing above 130. I was looking for a possible short at 130, but just because how strong the market was and how strong Amazon was, I stayed away from it, and I think I saved myself a lot of money. But hey, that short that initially gave you over here at 129.50, that one hurt my heart because I thought that was the short that it's going to trigger for the rest of the day, and it's going to go straight down, kind of what I thought Apple would do too, because that was the Friday's high, basically the Friday's high. But never really ended up being that way, as the stock ended up finding support and instantly ripped to 130. What a crazy move it was. So I'm very happy that I didn't even take that short. And nice little triple top coming in at that 129.50, and we actually end up closing at that 129.50. So that's pretty interesting for me. I'll be interesting to see what happens over here near these anchored VWAPs and even today's VWAP. If the stock does manage to show me some buying near today's VWAP or some buying near the rolling 2-day VWAP, kind of showing us this trend is now changing back towards the upside, and the stock is getting ready to push back towards this 132 area. Once again, that 132 area is basically where one of the anchored VWAP is basically showing the resistance could come in, and that's lining up with a pretty solid level on the daily chart, right? So if we go back to the 1-minute chart, look at that, pretty solid. I mean, this is not rocket science, right? This is math. This is not rocket science. This is math, and all we're doing is looking for where the math aligns with previous levels. Where does the math come in conclusion, conjunction, in coercion? What the hell am I trying to say here? Chat, help me. AI, help me out. And whatever that convergence. When all these things converge and you find a solid level like that, then you smack the shit out of that trade and make that money that you need, okay? So over here, Amazon looks like we got some solid levels to possibly look for. Collusion. Just say every big word that starts with the C and ends with the isn, right? Eventually we'll hit the thing on there. Oh man, that's hilarious. But yeah, good little convergence. Divergence, convergence, good little convergence coming in over here for a possible trade off of this 132.30 rejections, or even a breakout of that area for ourselves. Amazon, shout out to Obi for that one. All right, next one on the board, Nvidia. First thing to do, move over the VWAP. The wap Friday. Nope, we need to go to Friday. Friday. Hello. Is that 9:30? That's 9:30. That's Friday. Okay, Amazon charting. It should be orange first. It is orange first. Okay, perfect. We have to move you down to 66. Perfect. And now we go here, put you into red color. And you need to go down 3 points. Perfect. Okay, Nvidia is kind of like slowly stepping back into the north side of these ranges recently, but now we're getting a little bit of more bigger ranges on these moves, and kind of sticking to a direction more instead of chopping people up in these moves recently. So that's good to see, because these candles recently have been very, very tiny, very, very small. So it's like nothing really to do, but now kind of Nvidia waking up again. So we're seeing this beast kind of come into play. Well, here's the 2-day VWAP. Here's today's VWAP, looking for possible levels over there. Looks like this 452 area, the rejection of maybe today's high will give you another short, or a breakthrough of today's high could give you a long. So I'm looking for that possible breakthrough over there. And apparently I have some level over here at 440. Obviously, I always say Nvidia kind of has something happening at every $5 to $10 prices that could also show up. 450, 452, 440, 445, 446 area. So keep watching for these $5-6 area prices, especially from yesterday's close, yesterday's high, yesterday's open, yesterday's low, and see where the stock kind of gives you a trade off of. Right now, the areas I'm interested in, once again, would be today's VWAP, the rolling 2-day VWAP, the yesterday's high, and the yesterday's close, to see if there's any trades coming over here. Yesterday's low I would say, yeah, yesterday's low is over here, but I'll be interested to see what happens from that 442 to 441.50 to see if buying comes in. Then you possibly look for some longs for a nice little move back up to the north side, and as dip buy off the open. That's a little scenario, possible little scenario for us on Nvidia to look out for. Microsoft, just delete that bad boy instead of having to drag it all over. Delete it, put a new one in, and just modify that one. Modify it to our requirements. Bang, bang, done. 2-day VWAP is now put in. Let's go back over here, and ooh, I look at that. Look at that. I like that one very much. Okay, Alt H. What is that one? That's perfectly aligned. Then we have to do Alt H over here. Do orange, and this one needs to go down 1 point. Okay. Ooh, solid move. And we got a 52-week high anchored VWAP. I believe that's a 52-week high anchored VWAP, and there's more than one coming in over there for some reason. Not sure why. Let's actually go to the 52-week high. Oh, look at that. Where are all these coming from, man? Holy shit. So I'm guessing the one from this gap, the one from the 52-week high, and I'm not sure why I have one over here. I'm probably going to remove that one. Not sure why I have that one. Oh, that's one's from the earnings. That one's from the earnings. Ah, okay. The earnings anchored VWAP, this earnings anchored VWAP, and the 52-week high anchored VWAP. Are you telling me all three of them are coming in exactly at one price? That has to be a glitch. That's gotta be a glitch, chat. That's a glitch in the matrix. I've never seen that. So if for any reason we see rejections at this price, you know why. That's a glitch in the goddamn matrix that I've never seen before. I'll be interested to see what happens over here near 323.31. Let's see if 323.31 kind of has some sort of a significant price point. I mean, yeah, it shows you some price over here, support, double bottom maybe, but nothing really recently. Maybe a little bit of rejection over here. It doesn't really show me too much on the chart, but that convergence of 3 different moving averages, anchored VWAPs from different price, different times, are all coming in at one price point on a 1 minute chart is pretty surprising. On a 5-minute chart, it's a little bit different. That they're coming in, 2 of them are coming in a little bit higher than one of them, so that's a little bit different. Looks like that one's the next price point if we are interested. But the 1 minute chart convergence is crazy. That's got to be a glitch. I don't think that's accurate, but I'm still gonna have that one on the watch list for myself tomorrow. But here's the main thing. The main thing is, hey, bullish market at the moment. The market's green, green, green. They are pushing back up to the north side. QQQ has found some support on the dailies. Look at that. Bang, support on the dailies. Nice little double bottom, taking us right back up to the north side. The SPY sadly not looking that much better than the QQQs, but it has also at least found some support over here in the lower end of the ranges. Did end flat on the day. So looking at all that, if the market does hold up and doesn't show too much weakness, especially for the S&P 500, I think Microsoft could also join that party and keep on rallying with the rest of the tech basket. Google is next over here. Google, let's quickly go to our 1 minute timeline. Delete that one. Go to Friday's chart. Go over here. Put that bad boy there. That's off 9:30, right? Good. Okay, 9:30, and then refix our timeline, and then we just have to kind of draw our lines real quick. Look at that. Some other anchored VWAP from some price point is aligning up exactly with the 2-day anchored VWAP. These things are actually crazy, man. These numbers, when they line up like that, they're actual levels. Trust me on this. They're actual levels. It doesn't just happen by randomness, because like if you think about it, these numbers are calculated by actual where stocks are traded, and it's supposed to be the best average price traded for all the volume and all the price traded. That's supposed to be the best price. You're telling me that an anchored view up from somewhere else in the past, maybe an earnings one or a 52-week one, is lining up perfectly with one of these lines over here that we're just putting in, right? So looking for this area to come back into play. Maybe a nice little dip buy off that area would be amazing, and we bounced off of that one multiple times today. So dip buys off of this area, dip buys even off of today's VWAP, or even off of this line that we have over here near 170. What line is that? 170, 133. I'll be interested, because look at that consolidation at 130, man. That's crazy. 133 consolidation on Google is beautiful. I like that. I like that. Picasso. All right, Meta. Someone said chart Meta because I love Zucky. Ha ha ha. All right. Meta. We got that one bad boy in there. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Look. Gotta love that one. I just go one down, 1 point. Orange, please. And that needs to go 3 points down. Okay, so Meta has some clear level over here. I mean, look at that double top at a previous line that I have mapped out somewhere near 307.36. Today's high basically 307. Let's go back to that daily chart. Looks like that level comes in right around from there. So a pretty solid resistance area around these areas. And if Meta does give you any dip buy opportunities near this 304.50, sadly, you could be possibly looking for some longs over there with your risk right at the bottom of these ranges. 303, you could even just wait for 303s or the failed break of 303s if you want, honestly. But if the stock does drop down over here, show you some buying around these areas off the open, this is your stop right here, in my opinion, and you just rip it to the north side off that trade. So Meta looks good, man. Looks good. Not really. I hate Meta, but looks good. CCL. This is the rolling 2-day VWAP. So which is we'll have to put it over here now for tomorrow. Okay, rolling 2-day VWAP. Hey, where did my earnings VWAP go? Oh, look at that one. Did you guys see how the rolling 2-day VWAP was a little bit higher before? Because that one considered Friday and Thursday's action, and that's what we traded off of. But now, the rolling 2-day VWAP from Friday's action and today's action exactly intersects or converges with the earnings VWAP. Wait, that's because I'm an idiot. That's because we are basically looking at the earnings move, Prad, you stupid. That's hilarious. That's a good one, chat. That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, that's a good one. Hold up. Let me just throw some lines over here. Okay, so the rolling 2-day VWAP and the earnings VWAP, which is basically the same anchored VWAP over here. We're going to be looking at this price over here tomorrow for any possible rejections off of these price point and for more weakness on the stock to show up and actually break that 52-week low, sorry, break that daily support that we just recently formed on the lower side over here near 1350 to 1330 on CCL. But for any reason, what we have been seeing is even on earnings day 1, it showed us support off that area. Earnings day 2 is showing support off of this area still. So for any reason on earnings day 3, if we see support coming off of this area, if this stock is now trading above the earnings anchor VWAP, if we are actually holding above 1380, holding above 14, then there is a clear long over here on the stock to the north side, even for swing traders, right? If we're actually holding above this range on CCL, there's a clear long for you to take on a long-term scale, on a swing term scale, sorry, not long-term, and your risk is very tight, right at the lower end at that range, 13.24, maybe flat $13. If that breaks, you take that hit, you move on. But if it doesn't hit, then your reward over here is much greater to the north side than your risk is. And CCL recently, I mean, positive earnings report, constant beats on upgrades, constantly getting upgraded from multiple companies, and ever since COVID happened, and they is no longer an issue, that big of an issue now, so they've been kind of coming back into resurgence a little bit. So shout out to CCL. For anyone interested, there's a possible swing trade over here, you know, easy move to the north side for a very tight risk, and day trade obviously like I just laid out for you guys tomorrow. Look for supports to build in over here for those longs, or resistance to build in over here for those shorts, and either direction, if you are right on the direction, it should play out. It's on the same day. Yes, it's on the same day. Yes. I realized. Okay. Wait, we forgot something. Wait, did we forget something? CCL, I think we forgot something. Yes, we forgot to put in one of the lines. And perfect, we have that two lines mapped out. Today's anchored VWAP and the earnings day VWAP, both mapped out for ourselves. From here on, we need to go to FWONK. Don't really trade this stock, but we got a nasty pop on this position today. What was Dan Duwall saying about the F1K today? F1K. Oh, you didn't say anything. I thought you were saying something about F1K, but that was a China thing that you were saying. Okay, never mind. But yes, Las Vegas does have. Oh, look at that. Liberty Media proposes merger with radio broadcaster SiriusXM. Yeah, we knew this was coming, didn't we? Yeah, we knew this was happening. So basically that they're merging the companies together. There's two companies or three companies at the moment. FWONK, FWONA. The different classes of shares. Class A, Class C, and there's Siri, which is obviously the company by itself, and most likely going to get deleted off the stock market and get merged within FWONK and FWONA. It's basically Liberty Media. I don't see a trade in it for myself, honestly. What am I hearing? Somebody just became a sub. Hey, thank you for becoming a subscriber. I appreciate it a lot, man. Much love. I don't see a trade in it for myself, but hey, there's some good levels over here. Pratt, stop saying you don't see a trade, you stupid. There's some actually good levels over here for possibly taking a look at. So let's just you know, throw some. I mean, it's just. I mean, look at the volume. How much share size can I take on this position, and how much do I have to wait on the stock to really do anything for me? Right? That's the worst part. But hey, 2-day rolling VWAP. Right there, and today's VWAP right there, quite a bit of a distance. The stock is on a tear right now. We already got past that high over there in after hours apparently, so hey, shout out to them. Got past that high in the after hours, and they're looking for more extension to the north side. Shout out to F1K. No real trade for myself on them. Zscaler, what was the news on these guys? Why were they up 3-4% today? Wee woo, what happened over there? Let me fix those lights. Those lights get really bright for you guys. Okay. Stocks on Monday mixed. Blah 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 blah. You're not moving the damn thing for me, mate. Okay. Just an upgrade. Nothing else. Alright, just a simple upgrade on ZS. I guess that really helped them out to push right back into these range highs. This range clearly has been a solid resistance on ZS. So moving right back into these ranges, giving you you know, crazy risk to reward short attempt. And I guess that short really pulled off today for anyone who did take that short. Easy short off of that attempt, right back to the downside. Sadly, I don't think the stock trades too much volume. Yeah, 2 million shares for $160 stock. Very chop action, I guess, but it did give you a trade at the end of the day if you were able to look for it. I will have it on my watch list, but I'm not going to chart it for myself. Plug Power did drop 10% today. This one I'll be interested in pretty much because it is down more than 10%, triggering that SSR mechanic. So maybe we do get some sort of an SSR bounce tomorrow, taking the stock a little bit to the north side, giving us some possible crazy short attempts on the move up, or even catching some good bounce longs on this trade. So looking for some levels over here. Quickly gonna throw some lines down over there. Those are the anchored VWAPs and today's VWAP, and we're pretty damn close to, wow, that's crazy. Okay, so we are right around at 52-week lows right now on Plug Power, dropping right below 52-week lows. If for any reason we do pop back into previous 52-week lows, which is right around where the anchored VWAP for the 2-day rolling anchored VWAP is. So if we do pop back into the previous 52-week lows near $7.23, I think that's an easy short right there on Plug. So 723, 725, I'm just gonna look for those shorts if you pop there. I mean, come on, it doesn't get easier than this. 7 to 720, short the shit out of it, ride it back to the downside if it does pop into those ranges for us. Femi. Can we say more? This stock is monstrous every single day. Shout out to anyone who actually did take that trade when I pointed it out for you guys. We read the news catalyst. We did the research on it for you, and we laid out the trade. If anyone took it, shout out to you, because you actually pushed the keys and pushed the buttons. So that's a big dub for us. Let me quickly put over here today's VWAP. Here's the rolling 2-day anchored VWAP. The stock really struggled around today's VWAP after initially breaking out to the north side. We did manage to bounce off the rolling yesterday and today's VWAP. Not that I would have watched it that keenly, but I think that's something that I have to start watching, the rolling yesterday's and today's and the rolling 2-day VWAP, because these levels kind of come into play. If you think about it, you know, these big algos, these big programs are programmed to not just buy on one day. They're programmed to buy over a span of week, over a span of 2 days, 3 days, right? So it's always good to keep track of these anchored VWAPs, rolling it more than 1 day, more than 2 days, so you can see where the buyer from 1 day, where the buyer from 2 day, where the buyer from the whole week. Are they still in power? Is their program still running? Are they still controlling the market? Because that's where the big money is. If you read the Anchored VWAP book from Brian Shannon, there's a clear example in there that talks about how, you know, I think it was Warren Buffett had to buy X amount of shares, and exactly how he distributed X amount of shares in I think a 1 week period for I forget what stock it was, and when you look at his average price was basically where the stock's anchored VWAP was, or for that time period. So anchored VWAP is something that has been very, very useful for my trading recently. Shout out to Brian Shannon on that book. I'm still not done reading it. I'm just lazy. But yeah, I have to finish reading that book. Right now, a couple levels I'm interested in. Here was a level that I was interested in, so I took that breakout when that stock actually broke out on the day for the long side, but I just traded it poorly, so I got stopped out. But I'm interested to see if supports do build back into these ranges on the way back down. Right now, there is the anchored 2-day rolling VWAP, and yes, today's VWAP, which will be interesting for me to see how we trade above it, below it, or we find support around these areas. This is the VWAP from, I believe, yeah, all the way down over here. So I'm actually going to have to make it a little bit less thicker. There we go. So that's the VWAP from all the way when the characteristics in the stock actually changes and it starts making these moves to the north side, which is getting above $1, and the catalyst, which is the stock is now able to sell a drug for infertility and able to market it to public. So shout out to Femi on that one. Femi, SPHE. I mean, wait, I thought you said this ticker was SPHE. It was SPHR. TH, you lied to me. I was right. SPHR, Spear Entertainment, popping up 11% today. 3 million shares. Average trade is only like 700,000 shares. Sorry, not 700,000 million. 700,000 shares. So nothing really too exciting on the stocks. Average day volume, but today did a lot of volume. So obviously something to possibly look out for. I think the catalyst is not that strong in my opinion. Yeah, they built that spear, but I don't think that catalyst is that strong. Yeah, they're going to be able to make some money and so on, but what are we expecting, a whole new high? It's just a spear. It's just a stadium, right? They're not going to be hosting casinos in there. They're not going to be hosting hotel rooms in there. They're not going to be hosting like it's Las Vegas, and all it is a over glorified spherical stadium, right? If you get my point, where I'm getting to is like Las Vegas resorts, Vin resorts, uh all these casinos, MGM Grand, like all these casinos that are there, their money comes from casinos. Their money comes from having people sleep there. Yeah, they host events like boxing and stuff too, but I don't see people investing in T-Mobile Arena, which I think is in Las Vegas. If I'm not wrong, please correct me, right? So based on that, I mean, yeah, it's open. Yeah, it looks beautiful. It looks crazy. The technology is amazing, but I'm not too bullish on the whole catalyst over here. I think there might be some trades to the short side instead, and I'm just waiting for that one. Right now, I'm just gonna let this stock trade around. Cart getting below the IPO ranges, boys. That $30 area is what we were looking for. It is now cracking much below the IPO ranges, hurting all the investors. Anyone who bought an IPO day getting absolutely destroyed, sadly, and more downside. But the volume is continuously decreasing on the stock, sadly. So not too much going on over there for us to be interested in. A little bit of an increase on the volume, but until we really start seeing these type of volumes on it, I think I might just let the stock trade around, not be too interested in it. There could be a possible short back at 30 or even back at 28.50 areas if you are interested in watching what CART is doing. Target. Is Target finally making some sort of a Hail Mary to the north side move? Nope, still getting absolutely destroyed. I love it. So it looks like that $100 is actually going to come in for a cart or for Target. Insane. And if 100 comes in, I don't see why 90 doesn't come into play. If 100 comes in, I don't see why 90 doesn't come into play. So it looks like 90 is on the way for Target very soon. If we were to put in the 2-day anchored VWAP, I mean, that's a pretty big move down today. Holy smokes. That's a pretty solid move to the downside today. Monster move. Multiple dollars to the downside. Shy above 105 right now, but very close to 105 and very close to 100. I think there's just more downside for Target and coming, ladies and gentlemen. There's just nothing else to say besides that. Costco, I think recently had good earnings report, and they are now pushing right back to, wow, the all-time high again. No, the 52-week high coming back into play on Costco over here. Shout out to Costco. I think I'll have to actually put down Costco on my watch list, because Costco putting into the higher ranges again. And if I was able to put some levels on my charts, or put some anchored VWAP levels on my charts, where's the earnings anchored VWAP? There it is. There's the earnings anchored VWAP, and that one is currently showing us, hey, and that one's currently right here. Oh yeah, the earnings one, I think I usually do a way thicker line, so let me just do that. Thicker line, please. Thick blue. Yeah, that's the earnings anchored VWAP. There we go. We got the earnings anchored VWAP. We got today's anchored VWAP, and we got the rolling 2-day anchors VWAP. So for any reason Costco pulls into somewhere around these prices for me, I'm looking for supports to give me a chance to get into the long side, or for a nice little breakout of this range already that it's stuck into, get a breakout of that range to the upside for a bigger move north, or start peaking up and consolidating above this area for me to look for longs and not really trade below this area, right? Below 571, 572, I'm not too interested. But if we're actually holding above 571, holding above 572, then I'm interested on the bigger long move for Costco to the upside. So look out for Costco over here. Siri, no trade. You guys know that. It's in the same basket of this FONK and FONO and so on. And last but not least, Sorry for the person who kept wanted. I knew it was as SPHE on Yahoo. You're lying to me, TH. I'm never believing you on anything anymore. It's SPHR. Last but not least, the viewer wanted Roblox. I'm sorry, but you just your message was read last. Your message came in last. So your stock gets picked last. I apologize, but it is what it is. Roblox finally bouncing off that 52-week low. We thought that we would see some rejection come in around this $28 area. We technically did, but now we're actually peaking back above 28 and moving back into these ranges. So let's move that line back up to the north side over here for RBLX. Looks like that $30 area is still acting as a solid wall on Roblox. Previously, we got a little bit of a bounce wall. We got a lower low right back into that same wall. Rejection means we're probably going even lower than 25 very soon. That's a swing term trade setup in my head. If I was to draw what that line would kind of look like, we got this, but next is that. If we're not able to peak above over here, the next is that, in my opinion, and something like this. So it probably just keeps doing that. So be careful for the long-term scale. And for the swing term, I mean, we called out that long over there. We called out that long over there. So anyone who did take that long moves already, you're in the money. And already should have taken profits, in my opinion, because I would have near that 28 area. Now for day traders, if you are interested to day trade the stock tomorrow, the levels that I possibly... Hello? Oh, because I'm... Go here. The levels that I'll possibly be interested on a day trade for tomorrow on Roblox. Let's quickly mark the anchored VWAP. That's not blue. Blue. Da ba dee ba dee da. Da ba dee da ba da. Okay, so here's the rolling anchored VWAP, 2-day rolling anchored VWAP, and today's VWAP kind of showing us the same price. I'm gonna move this bad boy up to 89, and I'm gonna have to put a new one in and change that color to orange, and that one's 83 and 83. So yeah, it looks good. So looking for possible rejections off of these areas, or even a pop into this line that I have near $30. Show me a rejection of these areas over here. Don't really hold above the anchored VWAPs. If you're holding above the rolling 2-day anchored VWAP and you're holding above yesterday's VWAP, then there might be some buying pressure coming into the stock and possibly go test that $30 area. Then I'll just wait for that $30 area instead. But if I am seeing rejections right off the open, maybe we open somewhere here, we pop into a reject and pull back down, then I'm looking for some shorts right away, risking these highs over here, not risking all the way back there, looking for some tight risk management on RBLX. Let's see if any trades do pop up, but I'm not expecting a high increase ARV all day on RBLX. But if there is one, we will be taking part in said games, because I like to play games. Talking about playing games, I'm gonna go sadly walk my dog first and then go play some video games. Probably go play some Tarkov, or maybe go play some Escape from that is Tarkov. Escape from Tarkov, or go play some CS2. Maybe I go play some CS2 today. Now I'm going to go play some Tarkov. If my friends are playing Tarkov, I'm going to go play Tarkov. If not, I'm going to go play some CSGO too. But let's wrap you guys up real quick, like a nice little present, with looking at what's going on the economics calendar tomorrow. Economic calendar looking pretty dead, except for this 10 o'clock number. 10 o'clock, Jolt's opening coming up. Jolt's job opening number coming up at 10 o'clock. That could move the market a little bit. 8 o'clock, we got Bostic, Fed member Bostic coming out at 8 o'clock. That's a little bit early, obviously, but the market could kind of maybe get dictated, or the tone will start getting dictated for the market based on what he's talking about. Hopefully nothing too important over there that he has to say. And obviously the 10 o'clock Jolt's job opening number might just move the market a little bit, so watch out for that. The market moved a little bit off of today's number. ISM number moved the market quite a bit. We also had Powell coming on and Harker coming on, and they were kind of moving the market too. But Powell really, not Powell, ISM number really moved the market today. Nice little pop off that ISM number. So you have to be ready for any second for the stocks to go against you. If you're on the wrong side of the trade and these numbers are coming out, they could make or break your trade and ruin your day. So always make sure that you know what times these 3-star events are coming out. Today, 10 o'clock. Tomorrow, 10 o'clock again. So be ready for that one. Besides that, there's nothing else for us to really be on watchful for. I don't think I really need to bring up the CME watch tool for us just yet because they're still predicting no rate hikes. So we'll see if this number continues to stay that way. The next meeting date is November 1st, the next FOMC date. So stay tuned for that one. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the stream. Thank you for every single one joining every single day, coming out, showing love, showing support, hitting the like, telling me the thumbnails are great. And even for those of you who are not saying anything in the chat, just lurking in the background, having me as a noise, just so I could fill your blank space in whatever you're doing. Maybe you're doing chores, maybe you're cleaning your house, maybe you're charting yourself and you're actually just listening to my absolute random nonsense and ending up finding a trade off of that. If you do, please hit the like and help me out with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. And for those of you who do want to support me in all other ways outside of just subscribing and liking, feel free to check out all my links down below, my affiliate sponsor links, and even my social media links. If you're not following me on social media, you're probably missing out on some of the fun stuff and crazy, wacky stuff and even trading stuff that I have to talk about in life in general. So go follow all social medias, and please do go check out my affiliate sponsor links. It will help me out if you do use any of those links. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. I will see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. Have a great night and have better trades. Peace.